Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Fowl Territory 244. I am your cordial host, Gizzard Gary. It is Friday, December the 15th, so welcome to the show, everybody. So,
Yo.
yo, indeed, there's a voice from the past, from the echoes of Fowl Territory's past, maybe.
Let us out of here.
But before we get there, before we let these fellas out of their dungeon, let's say hi to everybody who's out here. Let's say hi to Kingpin. Kingpin says yo, and he says happy birthday this weekend to Patriot in the Dark, Ozzy Osbourne, Midnight Range TM, wherever he may lie. Pat in the Bunker is out there and in here. Chessboard is in the audience, as is Block 9. We have Artak and Daughters. There's Ozzy. Happy birthday, Ozzy. Bark at the Moon. Tread is in the audience. Dale Pogue is out there. Justin Grimm. Ozzy caught up with me today. Yes, for 45 days we are the same age. How about that? Weston Probst is out there. Chris from the 740 is in the audience. Backing up. I don't remember if I said hi to him, but I'll say hi again. Justin Grimm is out there. I did say hi to him already. Well, I like him so much, I'll say hi to him twice. How about that? 2 Live Moo is in the audience.
Mew.
Or Mew, however you look at it.
Could be in here.
Blitz is in the audience, as is Travis T. When a feeling comes and you can't go on, it's a Travis T. That's right. Ron Wayne is out there. And Travis T may be in advance the winner of the Fowl Territory giveaway. It's just a pretty good bet to make. Let's see. Rick Waters is out there on the Facebook side. I'm sorry?
Giving it away already, huh?
Might as well. Might as well. Defense Dad is out there. Holy hell, it's these guys again. You're the one that pushed the button, not me. The Gun Snob, all the way from Jackson Hole, out there watching Fowl Territory. Thanks, buddy. All right, Woods is out there off until January the 2nd. Go teaching.
He could be in here. He's not doing anything right
Obviously, he's got time to watch the show. He's got time to be on the panel, too. Okay. Michael Dunn is out there. Okay. See, I think I said hi to Dale Pogue. If I didn't, hi Dale Pogue. There's so many repeats out there. It's kind of like watching TV in the wintertime. You know what I mean? Let's see. That's an old reference for people who remember broadcast TV. He says, I'm literally sitting on the bed in a motel room. It's too bad you can't sit on the bed and bring up StreamYard. But hey, you know what I say. 4 a.m. came really early this morning. Okay. I missed Boomstick Revenge. I tried to click on him, but he moved on me. Boomstick Revenge. There he is. Is out there. All right. He says I'm tarred or teared. I'm not sure what that is. All right. Well, I think I said hi to everybody. If I didn't, wave your hand out there in the audience and say you missed me. Hillbilly Up is out there and in here. But speaking of in here, Plain Nut 767 just jumped in. Defense Dad says, as opposed to figuratively sitting on the bed on a hotel snob. Okay. I'm going to leave that right there because we have a panel that you guys just need to meet because they're esteemed. At least that's what we call them. My esteemed panel. So let's see what they're esteemed about. Daisy Airgun Collector says, I need Gary's shirt. Well, if you go to a place called quickdrawshirts.com, you too can own one of these fine shirts. Tell them Gizzard sent you. Anyway, my panel. Here they are. All right. And the first item up for bids is my co-host with the co-most, coming to you and me from the state of North Carolina. He, of course, is the sunshine that brightens our day. He is the Oracle of the East. What all else is he? I've lost my spiel, man. He is the voice of reason and man of orange. He is mostly obnoxious one.
Yo.
Yo, indeed.
Negative $5.
$5 for what?
I said negative $5. You said first thing up for bids.
Oh.
My bid is negative $5. You give me $5, I'll take them. But that's my opening offer.
Okay.
I don't hear anybody else making bids either. So
not yet anyway, but it's a 2-hour show, so could happen yet. All right.
Worst bachelor auction ever.
You're not a bachelor.
That makes it even worse.
Abby Finnegan's out there, by the way. All right. Well, thank you for being here, Obi. My next panelist comes to us from the Keystone State. He, of course, used to be the host of stuff. Now is not the host of stuff, but may be the host of stuff in the future. Let's welcome Guns and Barbecue.
how's it going? What was the point that you've let us out of the dungeon now? I mean, we were getting ready to be put to death by Snoo.
Sue who?
Are we just going home with each other now? Obnoxious one? This is kind of weird.
You guys got something going on that completely does not involve me, and strangely
Are we just gonna?
I'm completely okay with this too. So.
Are we just gonna trade orange knives?
Yep, point first. I'll start.
Perfect.
All right, before there's bloodshed in here, let's continue on. Because let's go with the more peaceful part of my panel down on the bottom row. First, we're going to start with someone who is he's deep underground in an undisclosed location, but he did disclose that it's deep underground. Not real deep underground. I think just a few feet underground, but still underground nevertheless. Let's welcome Pat in the bunker.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy. How are you?
I'm not too bad. How's Gizzard tonight?
Man, it don't get any better than this. That's kind of the sad part of the whole thing, is it really does not get any better than this. Sorry, but there's a giveaway, so keep on the show a while. Don't click off yet. We get a giveaway. Stay a while.
Yeah, kick up your feet.
Right there in the audience, that's right. Sit back, kick off your shoes, and stay a while. Take off your hat and lay it over there on the table. Gun Websites is out there. Welcome, Gun Website. Abby says, me and my cousin did shots. Well, hopefully it didn't involve injections. I hope you're talking about.
Hopefully they missed each other.
Well, that too. A good point. All right. Well, thank you, Pat. Let's go to our last panelist here. And he comes to us from the Show Me State, that being the state of Missouri. And he is a host of Guns, Beer, and Therapy on Saturday nights. And he just came from the Georgia Shooting Connection. Let's welcome here, Billy up.
Hey, Gizzard. Man, thanks for letting me be on here tonight. Friday night's one of my favorite nights of the week. I enjoy spending it with you guys.
Well, we enjoy having you, man.
Great side chat out there.
Yeah, lively bunch. 27 people out there watching this mess. And no, I don't know why, but I'm glad you're here. The rumor probably got spread around that I was giving away stuff. I don't know. It's always a possibility. Stick around and find out. Oh, yeah, there's stuff at the bottom of the screen telling you. That's right. All right. Well, now that we have our panel, the gun snob, like I say, is away. So, on vacation. So, probably just going to be us tonight unless someone else jumps on. So, let's see.
Like 2 Live Moo.
Where is 2 Live Moo? That's right. We need to get him in here. Since Gun Snob won't jump in the panel because he's chicken.
I mean, it makes sense. He's a hen, so.
Isn't that the pot calling kettle black right there?
Probably something like that. All right, so let's find Misha N. Is out there in the audience? Oh, looky there. Somebody named Kent Nelson. Looks an awful. That must be Snob's brother. Sure looks like Snob.
You called him chicken. You can't have a chicken on Fowl Territory.
Gary P11 said he might jump on if you send him a link tonight. Who's Gary P11? Is he any relation to the other P11 I know?
Hillbilly, would that count as cannibalism?
What? There's a Travis P11 and a Gary P11.
Evidently.
What are the odds?
I think there's a Kent P11 too.
Yeah.
Probably.
Totally. Well, that link is forwarded. Abby says, we drank Irish whiskey. Misha N says, morning, evening, and good lunchtime. Wow, we got all kinds of weird stuff going on out there. But okay, I'm not going to judge, you know. Who am I to judge? So, all right. Well, really? I'm having trouble. I forgot how to run this thing. Anybody remember how this StreamYard stuff works?
Yeah, I think you hit the end stream button.
Cool.
If not, YouTube will do it for you.
Can I do it now?
You can do
Absolutely.
Yeah, last week they just took it down for us.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they're pretty good at that.
Yeah, they darn sure are. Okay, so we've got the website bearingarms.com on our screen, and we've got 5 articles under top Second Amendment stories. They are Oregon officials dispute judge's facts on gun control measure. Teen wanted on carjacking charges shot during attempted vehicle theft. LA Times discovers a relationship between gun stores and violent crime not so simple after all. Nobody's going to help you here. St. Louis assault highlights the danger of gun-free zones. And Canadian arrest undermines White House's ghost gun effort. So, traditionally, we let my co-host, Obnoxious One, pick the first topic.
Oh, does that mean you're still letting me pick the first topic? Because that was that's usually a lead into where you're going to say, but this week we're going to let so-and-so pick the first topic.
I'm going to let you stay on top, buddy.
Okay. Then I'm going to go with the Canadian one.
Canadian. We're going to go with number 5. Canadian for 500. All right. Okay, by Tom Knighton, and that was yesterday.
Oh, that guy again?
Yeah, you picked him, not me. For all the hysteria around so-called ghost guns, it's not really much of a problem. The numbers are small despite media fear-mongering, and much of what we've seen has really been because of that media. Most bad guys didn't even know you could make your own guns. But the idea of bad guys manufacturing firearms isn't new. They've done it off and on for years and all over the place. While the White House is pushing laws against ghost guns in their latest anti-gun push, an arrest in British Columbia kind of undermines the idea. Nick goes on to say 2 Fraser Valley men have been charged after the BC anti-gang unit investigated an alleged gun manufacturing operation. The Combined Forces Special Enforcement Unit of BC was tipped off about the illegal firearms in December 2021 and began investigating the alleged manufacturing and trafficking of privately made gun silencers and other firearms-related goods. Searches in February and April 2022 of homes in Langley and Surrey turned up a slew of evidence, including 3 airsoft pistols that had been converted into .22 caliber guns, both with silencers attached, several magazines and ammunition, GSG 1911 slides, which are used to convert airsofts into more lethal firearms, 15 suppressors, and other items consistent with a firearms manufacturing lab, according to CFS-EU spokesman Sergeant Brenda Winpenny. Privately made firearms represent a growing trend in British Columbia and internationally, by which criminals attempt to obtain firearms and to profit from firearms sales. Now, this is Canada. There are already laws against this kind of stuff in place. The average citizen doesn't have the ability to build their own firearms lawfully, and yet the criminals will still do it just the same. At a time when the White House is pushing a series of measures, including a ban on so-called ghost guns, meaning anything that lacks a serial number but primarily focused on homemade firearms of any kind, the fact that an arrest like this happened in anti-gun Canada has to throw a bit of a wrench in the works. Bans on things like this only ban the law-abiding from doing a thing. The problem is that the law-abiding are, law-abiding. They're not going to use these guns to break the law. They're not going to make them to sell to criminals. They build them for their own purposes, lawful purposes. Yet if the White House gets its way, you and I would be forbidden from building our own firearms, even if we only ever build them for personal use. But the criminals wouldn't stop. There's no way to stop bad guys from doing bad things. Canada keeps thinking they can.
Oh, I disagree. There is exactly one way to stop bad guys from doing bad things.
How's that?
Dirt nap.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Canada keeps thinking they can, and stuff like this is a result. Yet these two were arrested, but how many more are at work right now making illegal guns? Stopping bad people is a good idea. Stopping activities that law-abiding citizens engage in as well, because bad people also do it, is stupid. You're not stopping the bad people from doing it, only the good people who mean no harm. But then again, isn't that the real point? What do you think of that, guys? That's a good article. I liked it. Any comments on that?
It was good. It was good. It was good.
I think Gobi picked well.
They don't give a rat's ass about the bad guys that are out there doing the stuff. That's just ammunition for them.
Yeah.
They don't care. They don't care about the shootings in Chicago. They don't care about the gang wars going on. That's just they use that to increase their mass shootings and shooting at school property numbers.
Ozzy says room temperature challenge is the best way to stop bad guys.
Mm-hmm. It is the only way you're going to stop a bad person.
That should do it. Yeah. Jacob S. is in the audience, by the way. Hello, Jacob.
Jacob S. is not a bad guy.
He is not.
So I don't know why you lumped him in like that.
I just said hi to him because I have not acknowledged his presence up until now. And I'm just a nice guy. That's why I finish last all the time, because I'm a nice guy. All right, so let's go on. Guns and barbecue. You get to pick an article.
What were the other choices?
Okay, we've got the Oregon officials. We've got the teen wanted on carjacking charges. We have LA Times story, relationship between gun stores and violent crime, and St. Louis assault highlights the danger of gun-free zones.
Let's go with the LA Times thing. That sounds like it might be interesting.
LA Times for 300. The answer is Cam Edwards. And this is today, this morning. All right, so fresh off the press. And Cam says the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel isn't the only paper that's been running a multi-part series on guns and gun owners in recent days. The Los Angeles Times has its own series called Arming America that explores gun access in the United States with a tilt toward California. And while the two series are looking at different aspects of the right to keep and bear arms, it does look like there's one commonality between the two. A realization on the part of the reporters that the issue they're exploring isn't as simple as gun control activists would have us believe. How about that? As Journal Sentinel reporter John Diedrich told me, his series Behind the Gun was originally meant to be a deep dive into gun-involved deaths in Wisconsin, and as he started to learn more about the issue, he began to appreciate the complexity surrounding the issue. Quoting here, I guess what we leaned into is when you see simple narratives, beware, Diedrich said on Bearing Arms Cami Company. It's more complicated, and the world is more complicated than those little sound bites. And social media does that really well. It simplifies things. It flattens people, too. It flattens people's stories and doesn't show the complexity within them. Sounds like the Los Angeles Times reporters had a similar experience as they were working on Arming America. As Times Deputy Director for Data and Graphics George Levines writes, when the writers set out to determine the relationship between gun dealers and gun violence, they started with the hypothesis that more gun stores would equate to more violent crime, but they were confronted with a much more complicated reality. With few exceptions, data reporter Gabrielle Lamar Lamy, that's quite a name right there, found a small inconsistent relationship between increased presence of gun dealers and gun violence. The underwhelming national results surprised her and investigative enterprise reporter Connor Sheets. It took the reporters months to get to that conclusion, and it upended most of their future reporting. The findings required new questions and a better understanding of how the business and its regulators operate. We started with some version of how does an increase in gun dealers impact gun violence, and an assumption that we'd show readers a simple map connecting the most violent areas to the most gun dealers. We ended with more questions that were increasingly difficult to answer. Given limited effect, why is there an ongoing push to restrict dealers in California? How do guns travel from manufacturers to crime scenes? Where are regulations failing? And can we prove any of this with data? The Times reporters still assert that their data shows a 4.8% increase in gun-involved homicides from one additional dealer per 100 square miles in a county and neighboring counties. I'm reluctant to accept that at face value given the variable nature of homicide rates. But even if we do accept that premise for the sake of argument, Levine says that figure makes it difficult, if not impossible, to curb gun-involved crime by targeting federally licensed firearm retailers. In the end, one finding stood out to me in particular. Significantly reducing gun violence by reducing gun dealers would require unprecedented levels of regulatory coordination across city, county, and perhaps even state lines. So unprecedented that it's probably not realistic. In Los Angeles County, for example, it would mean more than 160s across the county and 4 neighboring counties combining efforts to dramatically reduce the number of gun retailers in the region, nearly 35,000 square miles. That unprecedented coordination Levine talks about would lead to a 1% reduction in homicides, according to the data compiled by the Times, a figure that is statistically insignificant and well within the study's margin of error. This leads to all kinds of questions that challenge the gun control narrative that more guns and more gun stores equals more crime, and that cracking down on legal gun owners and the right to keep and bear arms is the only real way to improve public safety. It remains to be seen just how willing the Times will be at confronting that narrative, but at the very least, the reporters are informing their readers that making Los Angeles a safer place is far more complicated than going after gun shops and lawful commerce in arms. That's a start, and I'm curious to see where the Los Angeles Times will go from here. Another good article. Any comments on that?
I like the epiphany that they had. Or I shouldn't say that they had. I like that they had one.
I think most of us could have told them what they were going to find out.
Indeed.
All they needed to do was watch Fowl Territory.
There aren't a lot of gun shops in Washington, D.C. and Chicago, so...
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
And there's no crime either, right?
Mm-hmm.
I see that GGW Outdoors is out there. TJ Persicity in the audience. Clint Torres is out there. Chad Kelly is also with us. Wow. We have 31 people in the audience.
What is wrong with those 31 people?
It's a slow night, evidently. Let's go to Pat.
I was kind of distracted reading Abigail drinking whiskey with a raccoon named Ricky, trying to teach him how to run a saw so he can still catalytic converters.
Alrighty. Okay, Pat, your turn to pick.
Yeah, that's what I thought, G-Webs. I thought there was literally one in D.C.
I will take teen carjacking for 1,000, Gizzard.
That's just a $200 question.
Oh, okay.
But if you get it right, you get $200. So hey, all right. Okay, once again by Cam Edwards, written today. Police in Atlanta, Georgia say a 17-year-old who was shot by the owner of a vehicle he was attempting to steal on Thursday night was already on their radar for a string of carjackings in the city in recent months. The 17-year-old's identity has not been released, but according to authorities, he had several outstanding warrants for his arrest for multiple carjackings and will be taken into custody once he's released from the hospital. The shooting happened just before midnight at a Texaco gas station on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive and Peyton Place. According to the Atlanta Police Department, the 17-year-old victim was shot in the midsection. Investigators say the teenager might have been trying to steal a vehicle or get into an unlocked vehicle to steal whatever's inside. Police believe the owner of the vehicle fired shots at the teen and then drove away. Based on the scant reporting to date, it's too early to tell if this was a justifiable shooting or not. Under Georgia law, someone may permissibly, acting under fears of a reasonable man, kill to prevent commission of a felony in defense of habitation, property, or person. Whether the shooting is ultimately ruled justifiable or not may hinge on the value of the vehicle that was targeted by the teen. Carjacking is a felony-level offense, but if the teen was trying to steal the car without the use of force, then theft of property is the more applicable charge, and it can be either a misdemeanor or a felony depending on how much property in question is worth. If the value of the vehicle is less than $5,000, then it's a misdemeanor, but anything above that amount is a felony offense. Sadly, this isn't the only case of a teen doing something criminally stupid and getting shot as a result that I've run across today. In Fort Worth, Texas, a 14-year-old was shot and killed as he was attempting to break into a woman's home. Just before 3 a.m. Thursday, officers were dispatched to a woman's 911 call of an attempted burglary. Officers responded and then left to finish the report. A short time later, the same woman made a second 911 call stating the burglar was back. Fort Worth police responded again. This time they found a teenage boy with a gunshot wound to the chest lying on the ground. Police say the female caller shot the teenager who died on the scene. Thursday afternoon, the apartment was quiet. 2 bullet holes were seen on the front wall. Detectives say the renter had reported break-ins or attempted break-ins prior to Thursday. Authorities haven't said if the teen had any previous run-ins with the law, but there was apparently some concern about his behavior beforehand. Fox 4 in Dallas-Fort Worth reports the 14-year-old was supposed to have a mentoring session with local activist Derwin Lamb at the teen's middle school on Thursday. Lamb had multiple community youth programs in North Texas where he shares his previous life experiences to hopefully guide children and teens on the right path. Just before Lamb was about to leave for the middle school, he received a text from the boy's teacher saying he'd been shot and killed. Quoting here, "Today was just like, dang, I wasn't expecting that," he said. "Even though I expect that, unfortunately, in the community and the culture, I wasn't expecting that today, and that hurt me." It's a terrible situation all around, honestly. While the homeowner may very well have been justified in using lethal force against a stranger trying to break into her home in the middle of the night, I'm sure it's still traumatic for her to have taken a life, especially to find out someone so young was attempting to gain entry to her home with her inside. Juvenile crime has climbed sharply since 2020, though there are signs that the violent crime rate is falling this year, along with adult offenses. Still, there are far too many cases of young offenders engaging in extremely reckless and violent behavior, from armed robberies to carjackings. In Washington, D.C. this week, authorities announced the arrest of 10 juveniles who they say were part of 2 carjacking rings. U.S. Attorney Matthew Graves said juveniles are responsible for a disproportionate number of these types of crimes. Quoting here, "In a prior press conference, I noticed that in our experience it is uncommon for a defendant to commit just one robbery or one carjacking and never commit either offense again, absent a subsequent arrest," said Graves. "The allegations in cases like this are why we hold this belief. I also previously noted that a majority of individuals arrested for robberies and a supermajority of individuals arrested for carjackings are juveniles. I previously explained that I have instructed our career supervisors to strongly consider prosecuting juveniles as adults when they are involved in a series of armed carjackings or armed robberies. These are not the impetuous crimes of a child who's temporarily lost control. They are the calculated crime of someone willing to hold a gun to someone's head for life, for money, or property. We're failing to rehabilitate many of these juveniles, and we aren't incarcerating them either. For too many young offenders, an arrest comes with few consequences and may give them the false impression that no one is taking their crime seriously. That might be the case for some judges and prosecutors, but it can be a very different story when it comes to their intended victims, especially those willing and able to defend themselves when necessary." Any comments on that? That said a lot right there.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
It's pretty
broken
true.
homes. Yeah, it is. I mean, sadly, it is. I mean, unfortunately, that's the world we're living in now, especially when the parents aren't willing or able to keep an eye on their kids, or broken homes. I mean, everybody knows. Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
No, I don't want to hear all that, because it specifically says since 2020 there's been a spike. Why has there been a spike since 2020? Because we've had all those issues before 2020. What changed?
And I know there's more to it than that. I know there's more to it.
So what I'm saying is, don't just go with the quick cop out of broken homes, all this. Like, COVID happened. We all know COVID happened 2020. So what happened with COVID that is all of a sudden now making this spike of youth go out and commit these crimes? Like, and I'm not saying that it's correlated with COVID. It's just, since 2020, that's when that all happened,
Right, and I'm glad you expounded on that. I really am. Thank you, Barbecue. But I think of a lot of it has to do, just like what it said in there, with them not getting punished or getting picked up, the cops not being able to do their jobs. I mean, there's more to it than that. But I'm not trying to cop out on anything.
And I think you touched on something there, is lack of punishment. When they're seeing people,
if they can
get
get away with
slapped
it,
on the
they're gonna
wrist,
get away with it.
let out early, things like that.
Exactly.
That's definitely going to play a factor in it.
Yeah, and I totally agree. But yeah, and it goes deeper than that. But sorry, I probably should have expounded on that a little bit more. But
No, I was just saying, let's not go to the normal
right,
talking points
right.
when it's like, hey, there's a spike, because that the spike doesn't play into the
COVID
normal
brought on a
talking
lot of
points.
things. COVID brought on a lot of things, especially with the release of more violent criminals and just ugh. Well, just go look at California.
Right.
The only time they clean their shit up is when a dictator comes to town.
Okay, we had a few
That
interesting.
should tell you everything you need to know right there.
Had a few interesting comments out here. G-Web says, I watched movies about kids stealing horses from people in the 1800s. Kids have been bad before 2023. That's true. He also goes on to say, are young people just getting the idea to do evil deeds? Or are there criminal interests using under 18-year-olds because they can be manipulated? Good point. Wood
Yeah,
says the spike is behavior overall, since essentially the kids didn't go to school and they had no rules for 2 years.
yep.
Could be.
That's definitely a part of it too, I think. Yeah, and it puts such a stress load on parents and kids, and it's just that whole time was just well, it's
Clint
still
Torres
messed up. It
says
doesn't matter.
Soros funded Democrat prosecutors not doing their jobs. That could be it.
That's definitely part of it.
Ron Wayne says, I blame all this chaos on Little Debbie's small portions. They were 3 times bigger when I was a kid. Just saying. You suppose Little Debbie's has something to do with this? Could it be?
Goddamn kids with their hula hoops and their Dan Fogelberg records.
Little Debbie has a smaller snack for you. All right.
Zima.
All right.
What'd you say, barbecue?
And Zima.
Okay,
I mean,
so
you think about it, that's when hard seltzer come out, so.
all right, Hillbilly, you pick a story here.
Oh, buddy, I'll take the St. Louis story for 13 cents because that's probably all it's worth.
St. Louis story. Okay, that's this one here. All right. Okay, and this is 4 o'clock today by Cam Edwards. Okay. Though Missouri is generally pretty good when it comes to the Second Amendment, there's still room for improvement. The Missouri House of Representatives, for example, approved HB 282 earlier this year, which would have repealed the prohibition on lawful concealed carry on public transportation. But the bill failed to receive a vote on the Senate floor before the session gavelled to a close, keeping the gun-free zones in place for at least another year. The problem is that these supposedly sensitive places don't come with extra security to ensure the safety of riders, and crimes involving firearms still take place despite the no guns allowed policies in St. Louis and Kansas City. The most recent incident happened earlier this week when a man assaulted a passenger on a city bus. According to the FBI, the unknown suspect violently attacked and pointed a gun at a transgender victim at about 3:30 p.m. on April the 13th aboard a Metro bus at Chippewa Street and Grand Boulevard in St. Louis's Dutchtown neighborhood. Surveillance video showed the suspect taking a seat near the back of the bus and began talking to the victim, who was already aboard, according to the FBI. Minutes later, the suspect got up from his seat and began kicking and punching the victim nearly 24 times. He also pointed a gun at the victim. The victim, Sydney Massey, spoke to the Riverfront Times about the assault, and the paper also reached out to Kevin Scott, General Manager of Security for Bi-State Development, which runs the city's Metro Transit system, who had basically admitted that the gun-free zone operates on the honor system. How about that? When asked if there were any security measures in place that could have prevented Massey's assault, Particularly in regard to the assailant's gun, Scott says it's not possible to scan riders at all 59 bus routes in Metro Transit's 3-jurisdiction scope. But the agency does employ public safety personnel who patrol bus routes and transit centers and respond to calls for help. Security guards and police officers, including some from SLMPD, according to Scott, ride the buses. We can't have a police officer on every bus, but we try to create a dynamic where police officers in overtime and off-duty capacity ride some of our buses for visibility and comfort, Scott says. There wasn't a security guard or a police officer on Maisie's bus, and his bus kept traveling its route while Maisie was attacked. Even through the chaos of it all, Maisie says she remembers questioning why it seemed as if no one else on the packed bus reacted. Why were there no turning heads? She remembers kicking back and screaming, "Somebody help me." "Nobody's going to help you here," Maisie says a man said as he pulled out his gun. Maisie is a staunch supporter of public transit and still uses it exclusively. Even so, she wonders if things would have been different if St. Louis's system was safer or more efficient. It shows how big of a failure public transit is in St. Louis, Maisie says. It's not safe. Like nobody should have a gun on the bus, but he did. I don't know if this shows how big a failure St. Louis public transportation is, but it definitely shows how ineffective labeling a place a gun-free zone is when it comes to keeping guns away. Metro Transit prohibits anyone from carrying a gun on their property, but has no way of ensuring that the policy is being followed. The result is a system that disarms the law-abiding while empowering violent offenders to carry out their attacks in a target-rich environment. If nobody should have a gun on a bus, but Maisie's attacker did, then why shouldn't Maisie be able to carry a firearm for self-defense? Hell yeah. Why shouldn't any lawful gun owner be able to do the same? The city can't protect riders, so why are they not able to protect themselves? The carry ban on public transportation not only prevents lawful gun owners from bringing their firearms on buses and light rail, but disarms patrons who rely on public transportation as they go about their daily routine. Even if Metro Transit officials contend these attacks within the system are rare, violent crime in St. Louis is unfortunately all too common. Yet those residents dependent on using the transit network have to make a choice: violate the law and bring their firearm with them, or follow the law and be disarmed and defenseless throughout the day. I sincerely hope that legislation mirroring HB 282 will be introduced in the Missouri legislature again next year, and that state senators will have the intestinal fortitude to approve the bill alongside their House counterparts. Public transit in the state is gun-free in name only, and it's high time to ensure that patrons don't have to give up their right to armed self-defense in exchange for a ride. Great article. Comments on that?
Yeah, St. Louis is District 1. It's the only really liberal, hold in Missouri. And I mean, literally, if a 12-year-old asks you for a cigarette in St. Louis and you tell them no, you're going to get a gun pulled on you. So, I mean, it's just how St. Louis rolls,
So I know we've got at least one St. Louis. We got some St. Louis people out there, or people in that general area.
Yeah, there's good people in St. Louis. I'm not saying that. It's just, if you've been to St. Louis very many times, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But, yeah, gun-free zones in name only. Imagine why that doesn't work. Let's declare places gun-free zones and not prevent criminals from carrying there. How could that end up badly?
I don't see a problem with that at all. I really don't.
It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. I guess that leaves me with the one article that hasn't been read. That, I believe, is article number 1.
I much prefer Article 2.
We already read article 2, didn't we?
Oh, never mind.
What about number 3?
What about it? Okay, the circuit court judge who ruled that Oregon's Measure 114 establishing a permit to purchase scheme and imposing a ban on so-called large-capacity magazines violates the state constitution, says he'll hold off on signing his final order in the case until after a January the 2nd hearing where the state will have the opportunity to object to some of his factual findings. It's highly unlikely that the hearing will change Harney County Circuit Judge Robert S. Raschio's determination that Measure 114 conflicts with Article 1, Section 27 of the Oregon Constitution, which states, "The people shall have the right to bear arms for the defense of themselves and the state, but the military shall be kept in strict subordination to the civil power." Allowing the state to present its case, however, does make it at least slightly more difficult for Oregon Attorney General Ellen Rosenblum to assert irregularities in the circuit court trial while the case is appealed. There are a couple of Raschio's findings that are being challenged by the state, starting with his determination that the FBI would not be handling the expanded background checks that come as part of the permit to purchase scheme. At the time of the trial, the FBI refused to allow state police access to the Bureau's fingerprint-based criminal history data. Before Raschio issued his ruling on the measure, the state attorney general's office worked out a temporary fix with the FBI, according to court records. The FBI offered a grace period that would grant Oregon State Police access to the Bureau's national criminal history data to complete the fingerprint-based background checks, as long as the state police won't let anyone other than a local police chief, a county sheriff, or one of their subordinate officers have access to the information. Under the measure's language, a local police chief, sheriff, or their designee may serve as a permitting agent who would obtain an applicant's fingerprints. Before permitting could work, the FBI had to authorize state police to submit fingerprints obtained from local permitting agents through the FBI's Next Generation Identification Database, a biometric system that allows for a search of identity record. But the FBI was concerned a third party could access criminal history data. Under a negotiated temporary fix, the state police will only share the national criminal history information with a sworn law enforcement officer, according to the state attorney general's office. Regardless of the FBI's position, Wilson argued that the guns had said he wouldn't consider how the measure's regulations would be put into practice and would restrict his ruling to the language of the measure. Aiello, for the Harney County gun owners, responded that the FBI's changed stance occurred after trial, and the judge shouldn't consider it because there's no guarantee the FBI will continue to allow Oregon access to do the fingerprint-based national criminal history records. I'd say Aiello has a better argument, especially if the fix the AG has worked out with the FBI is being described as temporary and subject to a grace period. Among the other objections from the AG's office is Raschio's finding that the new permit to purchase scheme would amount to a 30-day waiting period, since that's the amount of time law enforcement has to approve or deny a permit. The AG's office argues that the 30-day period is the maximum time allowed by law, but permits could be issued much sooner than that. The federal Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, however, recently ruled Maryland's permit to purchase requirement, known as a handgun qualification license, was unconstitutional precisely because of that potential month-long wait, which the Fourth Circuit ruled is long enough to implicate and intrude on the rights of would-be handgun buyers. The AG's office also contends that the judge got it wrong when he ruled that magazines are an integral part of a firearm, citing testimony from their expert witnesses on muzzle-loaded guns that do not use magazines. In the vast majority of modern-day firearms, however, magazines are necessary for the firearm to function as designed. Without them, you in essence have a single-shot firearm, and it's hard to argue that anyone buys a semi-automatic handgun or rifle with the intent of only having one round at their disposal in case of self-defense. Much of the other complaints sound like nitpicking more than anything else, like disputing Raschio's determination that the media sensationalizes mass shootings and claim the judge's use of the 2021 National Firearm Survey to determine that 38% of Oregon residents are gun owners, and half of them own large capacity magazines that would be banned under Measure 114 is inadmissible hearsay. I don't expect these arguments will be persuasive to Ratio, but the Oregon Attorney General's office is going to use every tool it has to try to enforce the anti-2A edicts within Measure 114, no matter how frivolous or insubstantial they might be. Wow. Got some messed up stuff going on in Oregon, don't we? Everybody still awake?
That's saying, yeah. It's pretty messed up out there. And now, of course, Chicago.
Now Chicago?
Well,
Chicago just now got
yesterday.
messed up? Anyone else want to disagree with that?
Even worse. Even worse, I'll put it that way, because of the ruling the other day. So,
C4 Defense is out there. He says, we? Yeah, we. Okay, I see Vanessa Kitty's out there in the audience. We still have 28 people out there. I haven't bored everyone. All right. Okay. So I think that's it for our 2A stories. Now, I want to remind everybody that today, what day is it? It's Friday, isn't it? What happens on a Friday? Anybody remember? Well, Friday is Free Patch Friday. And remember that Gear Websites is your source for every Second Matters gun channels, gear, ammo ID, and more. They have patches, stickers, and other items. And of course, every Friday is Free Patch Friday. So buy cool stuff at gearwebsites.com. All right. So don't forget that. But don't take my word for it. Let's talk to G Webs himself and let him tell you about it.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.
That's right. Buy cool stuff at GearWebsites.com. Well, let's see. It's just about the top of the hour. And I wonder if someone could be sliding in here. Anybody know who could be sliding in here?
Ooh, Lizard Larry.
Lizard Larry's got something for you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you. Large prostate won't slow him down, chasing grandmas all over town. Got a sidekick named George the Cat. Lizard Larry's got something for you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you.
Yeah, that song is still in the top 100 of Casey Kasem's chart.
It should be. It very much should be. All right. Defense Dad says Godzilla chicken is still better. Godzilla chicken? Oh, that Godzilla chicken. Okay. All right. Well, our friend the gun snob. I've looked everywhere for him, but I think he's on vacation. Hold on a minute. What's this? All orders at the Gear website store this month are, I believe that's supposed to be also in the running for a free Civivi knife giveaway at the end of the month. Wow. Nice. Okay, he redid it. Okay. There, let's put the proper one on the screen. All right, very good. So if you order something at Gear website, you're gonna get a possibility to win a free Civivi knife. Nice. Nice. Includes all orders this month, Pat, so you're in there. How about that? But there's still time. There's still time. So I think maybe a blast from the past might be in order. What do you think?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's that time of the show where we give stuff away. In tonight's giveaway portion of Fowl Territory, we're going to have all sorts of stuff and things to give away, folks. So get those typing fingers ready, and we're going to see what we're giving away. Gizzard, what do we have tonight for this wonderful audience?
Well, the first thing we got, before we get started on this, have you noticed when I rock back and forth, my chair isn't squeaking near as much? Well, you know why? Because I lubricated it. You want to know what I lubricated it with? That's right. Aegis Gun Lube.
Good stuff.
Aegis protects with the available needle applicator to get that lubrication exactly where it needs to be. Matches a hat, too. How about that?
Evidently it lubes more than guns.
It does.
Yes, and it works great on fans, too.
Not so good on toast, but
No.
your mileage
I
may
wouldn't think so.
vary. We're going to start off with the Gizzard Gary channel sticker.
That's as big as your head.
Well, just about. Not quite. All right. And still this month, we're continuing with the Gizzard Gary channel magnet.
Woohoo!
That's right. A sticker and a magnet. And I thought I had another one in here. If not, I can throw it in. We do have the Gizzard Gary Reviews, slightly smaller sticker. And the Fowl Territory thumbnail sticker. And we've got more stickers. So let's go on. Don't snicker about my stickers. We have excess sights. They are known to be the fastest sights in any light. Then we have Live Free Armory, makers of the Apollo 11. The Eagle has landed. They are true American manufacturing. That's Live Free Armory. And then we have a Let's Go Brandon sticker from globeordnance.com. Will also be yours.
Yeah, Brandon definitely needs to go.
All right, we have a sticker from the Guns and Mental Health WTTA podcast. Courtesy of DM Foss, we have two stickers. We have the Papa Smurf. And we have the Donut Pseudo Way of the Hole. Both very cool stickers. Speaking of Civivi, somebody mentioned Civivi earlier. How about a Civivi sticker? Yes, sir. All right. Down to the bottom of the 2023 stickers, a 2023 SHOT Show sticker from Palmetto State Armory. How about an NRAM 2023 Indianapolis sticker from Palmetto State Armory? How about a Palmetto State Armory sticker from Palmetto State Armory? Just about.
What a coincidence.
We got a sticker here from Hyperfire.
From PSA.
We have a sticker from Dead Air Silencers. And then a big sticker from Iwi, also known as IWI, Israel Weapon Industries. Okay, that's the end of the stickers, but certainly not the end of the giveaway. Patches? We got patches. We got patches. Okay, we've got this from Gun Owners of America, or GOA, you could call it. We also have the Gun Rights Are Women's Rights Empowered 2A patch. Courtesy of Stan of SS Pond, we have the Dead Air Silencers patch. Last but not least, we have a patch from Brownells. And we're still not done, folks, because the generous people at the European American Armory wanted you to have this set of coasters from EAA. Not just one or two. I believe there are 7 coasters in here.
Wow.
You won't have marks on your coffee table or anything when you use these. Plus, you'll get to look at all these cool EAA firearms. How about that?
Now
Well,
for
that's
you,
for when company comes over.
That's right.
enough for you and 6 of your buddies drink beer.
That's right. G-Web says no one needs that many coasters. How about this key ring? This, I believe, you will find is
Shiny.
an MCK. It's a shiny MCK from CAA. All right. And you're going to get this coin. I don't know how well you can see it. It's got an Indian head on this one side here. And on the other side, it's got a buffalo and says Golden State Mint.
Nice.
And last but not least, you're going to get this package of buttons that also has a card from gunchannels.com, courtesy of Gear websites. You have a daily gun show button, I love guns and liberty, and the chair against the wall all in here. Plus, I think there's one hiding back here that I'm not real sure what it is. Anyway, you're getting all that cool stuff. Plus, you are getting from Aegis Gun Care, you are getting the basic gun cleaning kit. So, you're getting all kinds of stuff, folks. How about that? That sound like a good giveaway?
I don't see how anybody could not enter this giveaway.
Well, let's see how many people did enter
I'm
this
entering it.
giveaway. Oh, yeah?
That is a really good giveaway.
So we have 31 entries in the giveaway with only 28 people watching. 32. And whenever I get the go-ahead from our contest judge, my co-host Obnoxious One, we will draw for the winner.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Do it now. Do it now.
I did do it now. So here we go. Good luck, everybody. And the winner is... Oh, Travis T again.
Man,
Who called that?
Wow.
that guy never wins. Awesome.
Okay, I'm going to give him a second to decide whether he's going to keep this or have me redraw since he won last week. I see Mr. Knives is out there.
Is this a Twitch win this time?
That is a Twitch win this time.
Yeah. Twitch comes in pretty heavy on the wins.
Did Travis T leave? Maybe he got embarrassed. It's like, I win all the time.
I don't need to watch this part of the show. I know what's going to happen.
Can I have the Aegis and spin for the rest? Sure. Fair enough.
You got a squeaky chair.
Did we win shame him?
That's up to him. Honcho Fett's out there in the audience. So for everything except the Aegis Gun Care, here we go. And the winner is Weston Probst.
Oh, good God.
He doesn't win all the time.
Yeah, but I just don't care for that guy.
You don't like Weston? He's all right.
He said
All
just
right.
keep, he wants the shiny gun, just spend for all the rest of it.
Heck yeah. All right. So the Aegis Gun Care goes to Travis T. The rest goes to Weston Probst. I presume Weston's out there. He says, wow, nice. All right. Very good. So we're splitting the prize this week. Okay. So that does mean that the wiener Aegis Cleaner is Travis T. While Weston Probst is the winner of everything else except the chicken dinner. So Weston is cool with a split prize. C4 says he wins when Travis T doesn't.
Nice.
Our tax daughters came in with their hashtag just in case it's going to spin again, I think.
Yeah. All right. So that was pretty great. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. So let's see. Z4 Defense says GORN. What is this GORN he is talking about? Anybody know? I don't know what GORN is. I don't.
Never heard of it.
I don't really have a clue.
Is anything popcorn?
Could be popcorn. But let's see. Let's see. What haven't I played in a while? We already did the Screaming Chicken one, so give everybody a break here for a while. Do you want to see what you can do if you practice lots and lots at the same thing over and over?
You screw it up the exact
How you
same
can
way
really
that-
hone your craft and get things just right? Let's take a look, shall we?
Ladies and gentlemen, now it is time for you to send your GORN to Gizzard or GORN at gizzardgary.com. It's time for Show Us Your Gun.
He almost got it perfect. Let's see. C4 says Fowl Territory all-time win list. Travis T 124, Weston 120. Not quite.
He might not be too far off.
Okay, so GORN, you say? All right, so let's see. Let's go to, I do believe in the text chat here, I may or may not have some GORN. So I was told that this one's GORN, so let's go ahead and use this one. This actually came in, well, where'd it go? Before the show started. That comes to us from our friend, the Gun Snob. Kind of get an idea where he is. Isn't that
wow.
cute?
That's a lot of antlers.
Aww. Looks cold there.
Might be just a little bit.
I hope he's wearing just slightly not warm enough clothes.
Man, I had no idea that's what Jackson's hole looked like.
It's all covered in antlers like that. Yeah, could be
It'd be
careful.
rough.
I ain't going into that Jackson hole.
Wow. Really? Really?
I couldn't help it.
I know. All right. So this is from C4 Defense. Looks a lot like him, doesn't it? No comments, huh? Okay. And then he also sends us this. Too bad he's not here to tell us about it. Looks like we have a Glock 43X. All decked out. Holosun dot. TLR 7 sub light. 5 seconds per pick is fine for mine, Sarge says. Well, okay. I didn't know we had a time limit. Now I know. Okay. And picture number 3. Set your timers, everybody.
Switch.
That's Christmas pups. Got some pups and a pup. Okay. And I think there's one more in this group. Yeah, there's 4 pictures. Oh, so this is just a close-up.
Nice.
Guess that's his 5 seconds. Okay. All right. So now we have a few here from Obnoxious. He does not have a 5-second time limit unless he tells me he wants one.
I have a 4.86 second time limit.
You want to tell us about this while they're on screen, or just?
Yeah, that's a gun.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's an
for
HK.
For those of you that are visually challenged, that is an HK VP9 Tactical. It features a threaded barrel, and it's cut for an optic. The fun thing about it, though, is that it doesn't ship with any plates whatsoever, so you have to buy a plate because HK hates their customers.
Which is what HK stands for.
Mm-hmm. Hates customers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
Or you can buy the new Holosun SES that is actually designed for the VP9. However, if you put that SES on a VP9 Tactical, you have an upper thirds co-witness.
I see a few O lights in the background here, too.
I was going to ask if he is afraid of the dark.
No, look at all those. It's never dark around here, brother.
He saw the light.
I may have to reach out to our friends at XS Sites because that could actually benefit from sites that are a little bit lower than that.
Luckily, they are the fastest sights in any light.
Mm-hmm. So if I've got all those O lights going, those XS sites are going to be the fastest ones.
That's right. Okay, let's go on because we have more. Obi wouldn't send just one picture. So now let's look at this one. A completely different American-made option here from Smith & Wesson.
Mm-hmm.
M&P metal.
Yep, and see that one's got the SCS for the M&P on it, and that one does not have super tall sights on it.
No.
So those actually work out well. And it's got the Faxon barrel and Faxon comp on it, which are absolutely fantastic. And that Timney trigger, that is a sexy little beast right there.
It looks like a fantastic setup. It really does.
Yeah, I'll really like that, buddy.
That is, I'm digging that. How you honestly, how are you getting along with that? How's that ranked? Or
Oh, that's up there. That's up there. The only thing bad about that thing is that Smith & Wesson decided to go with like shark skin for their grip panels. So that's the only thing that's stopping me from carrying that more often.
So what you're saying is it's not necessarily super grippy.
Oh, it's like extra duper grippy.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
too grippy.
Yeah, it's a little much.
Hyper grippy, you might say.
Yeah.
Which is not an industry term.
No, it's purely a Smith & Wesson term. It's hyper grippy.
Not good for soft, sensitive hands.
It's not good for those of us that have a little extra around the middle.
That's true.
It's a little
question.
It's a little tender.
Yeah, stupid question, obnoxious. But are they going to be coming out with grip panels in a different texture, or do you know?
I thought my good friends over at Lot Grips were going to be coming out with grip panels for that, and they got sidetracked on other stuff, and that got put in the back burner. Was really hoping for those.
You may have to talk to them.
I can't get them to make me my 226 grips. I've been all over him about 226 grips.
We may have to visit with them next month.
I've seriously been looking for a gun kind of like that, Obi, and I was just curious on your thoughts on what you've shot and what you've been shooting, because I would really like a full duty gun like that, all metal kind of pistol.
If you want to stay, if you're going to be hard pressed to beat the M&P metal, it's pretty sexy.
Yeah, it looks freaking fantastic.
It has been endorsed. Okay.
I mean, anything else you're running, if you're looking at anything else that's metal and striker fired, you're gonna be way heavier than that one is, like one of the other ones that's coming up here. But you could go with the P320 with the AXG module on it, which will also be coming up. I just thought of that. But yeah, the Q5 match here, steel frame, that's a little bit heavier than that M&P is.
Yeah,
just
I would think so.
Yeah.
Okay. What's I forget what's the weight on that all then.
On the Q5 match. Oh,
yeah.
that's every bit as heavy as it's a 92X performance. So I would imagine that's upwards of, it's close to 3 pounds.
That's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Because I'm seriously looking into an all metal.
The M&P metal is, I think somebody did, and it's only like 2 or 3 ounces heavier than the polymer version. It's
really not that much.
I mean, I could go and get my scale and do it, but I'm kind of lazy and I'm sitting here.
No, that's fine. I was just curious.
Okay, let's take a look at this Live Free Armory here. I think we mentioned them earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I love the scheme on it. Love the scheme on it. That's the first thing that pops out to me. Absolutely love the scheme.
Yep, and think of how good some lot grips in that gray and black would look on that M&P metal.
Oh, that would be
Blake.
That
Blake's
would be
not,
slick.
I mean, Blake's not listening, but you know,
He is not.
probably not. He might be. You don't know.
Yeah, Blake, if you're out there, give us a comment, man. We'd love to hear from you. We certainly would. All right. right, so the next one. Ooh, that kind of blurry. Maybe we'll skip that
Yeah,
one.
skip that one and get to the one that I redid.
Okay, let's take a look at this next then.
Look at that one all decked out.
Here's a 320 for you.
Mm-hmm. Now see, this is Lock Grips has made the grips for the AXG module. They also have base pads now, which aren't in there because they're loaded up and ready to hit the range. But they just released the base pads and the carry magwell for that.
You got a pretty fancy dot up there, don't you?
Yeah, that's the RX-45 from Viridian Weapon Tech.
That is something.
Yep, I got to go out and get that sighted in because I did have a justice on it, but I figured I'd put that mailbox on top of it. Have a little fun.
It's a nice looking gun.
Those are fun mailboxes.
It's got a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You wouldn't mind getting mail in that.
Mm-mm.
All right.
I know what's good about that one is that's an aftermarket barrel, so that one's actually threaded the right way instead of SIG barrels or that HK barrel.
What are we looking at here? That looks like a Glock.
But it's a Glock. It's a tiny little Glock.
Yes, it is.
Gen 3?
No, it's 43X. Was a 43X. Now it's, I guess, a 48X MLS. It was a 43X MLS. But JSG sent me home with the slide for it from NRAM. So we got that on there. Got the Zero Tech optics. Got that up there. It was doing some testing on that. And we got the parts in from Cross Armory. The trigger and the pins and mag release. It's all set to go.
Oh yeah, pins and everything. I did.
Mhm.
I just noticed that. Wow. It's kind of striking. I think I like it. It's striking.
Let's okay, because
Striking.
striker fired.
Striker fired. Nice.
Okay. And then we're going to switch gears a little bit here.
Well, my hat's off to you, Obi. You got some really nice pistols there.
Not only
Really
does
do.
he have nice pistols,
Boom.
look at that.
That's a good looking.
Is that an acid etch then?
That's Damascus. What's the Civivi button lock with the Damascus blade on it?
Sorry, it's not coming across my screen very clear.
Carbon
I couldn't
fiber
tell if it was
scales.
acid etch.
Mm-hmm.
We could give it a
Oh,
turn.
okay. Yeah, I cleared. I broadened my screen up a little bit here. Okay, yep, I got it.
Might make it a little easier.
Yep. Okay, now I can see it. Yep.
Those button locks are nice.
Yep. That's for when you got to open a box, but you're wearing a suit. So,
Man, you could whip that out in a business meeting and you would just be the envy of everyone in there. They would know you were a man of luxury.
yes.
A man of finer things.
Okay. The nice thing is that knife wouldn't break you. It really would.
How much does that one typically go for?
It might cut you, but ain't gonna
I
break.
think that one goes for like $70, $80.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's not bad.
Civivis are
I paid more
they're
than that.
usually decent price. Even once you get into the Damascus blades on them, there are very few of them that
Yeah,
are
it's affordable.
going to approach 3 digits.
Okay, and then we have this.
This one, a little bit more than a Civivi.
A little bit.
I like the
Spartan
handle on
blades.
that. I like the design on the handle.
Probably going to be pretty heavy.
Yeah. It's not
How
bad.
long is the blade on that one?
I think they're 3 3/4.
Oh, okay. That'd be a good one to carry.
They're
around.
decent sized blades on those.
Yeah.
Now that, trying to see what is the lockup on that?
It's a frame lock.
It's frame lock. Okay,
Yeah.
you really can't tell from this angle.
No, it's titanium scale.
Nice.
So
USA.
Well, if it's
USA.
titanium, they didn't give it away.
no.
Okay.
Yes.
This is one of the buys, when we couldn't get ammo or guns. So
And you don't give away S45VN either.
No, like I said, this is when we couldn't buy ammo and guns, so I put a sizable chunk of money into knives for about a year.
Okay, it's got to have a hobby, right? Okay, since we talk so much about knives and everything, what does everybody use to sharpen their knives? Do they use a traditional stone? Do they use a 3-piece setup? Hones? What do y'all use to sharpen all your knives?
Creek Rock.
I've got the Work Sharp back here without the I don't have the upgraded pieces for it, but I like
You
it
just got
quite
the
a bit.
regular work type, not the Canadian edition.
No, mine's manual. It's not the.
Oh, you've got the same thing I've got then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clamp it
Yeah,
in. And,
You've got the newer one or not?
no.
Oh,
Mine's the original one when they first came out with them.
Okay, so a lot like the one I have.
Probably.
Okay. So this is a ProTech, another knife they don't just give away.
Nope, they do not.
Those scales are aluminum.
Yeah. Yep.
Button lock, S35VN again.
Automatic.
Automatic. Aha.
Yeah.
Well,
ProTech.
ProTech, yes,
Yeah,
it would be.
ProTech. So auto, and if you don't have a ProTech auto knife, treat yourself, because those things they hit hard.
I
So,
don't have one.
like this.
You're the one who got me started on auto knives with Bokers, and I kind of went from there. So
nice.
The ProTechs come out hard, but that's the Rockeye with the blue scales on it. They had that one, and I believe at NRAM. So
that's nice because that's a convex grind on the blade surface, flat grind up top on the false edge, then polished up where the emblems engraved. So you got multiple finishes on that knife.
That's like looking knife.
Got a nice little finger groove in the handle to hold on to it.
I carry a different Rockeye as my EDC.
Nice jimping on the back.
Oh yeah, that's not going anywhere.
Little bit of a sharpening choil up front there. Nice. No lanyard in it, but me, I've got to ruin all my knives by sticking lanyards on them. But you know,
The one that have that's got a lanyard loop on it, I think, doesn't it?
right? You don't have one in there.
No.
Okay. With the jimping and everything on that, I'm really big on this. Getting up on the blade, right before where the edge starts, right there. How does your finger fit in there? Is it too close to that edge?
Yeah, you're not going to put your. That's just a sharpening tool. You're not going to get into there. That handle is plenty big enough. You don't have to get up on that blade.
Can't see. Sorry. For some reason, these pictures aren't coming across my screen as sharp as they should.
Yeah,
be.
the sharpening choil is just a place where you can get in and start sharpening the edge for that.
Now, see, that's where I thought on most of my knives, I like the ones on the blades where you can get your finger up on the actual blade right
Yeah,
there
full
too.
finger choil. Yeah.
Full finger choil. And that's what my Smith is. And I absolutely love that for fine work because I do some woodworking and stuff with it when I'm actually doing a little bit of carving and stuff. So it works out pretty good when I've got that full finger choil up there. So I couldn't tell if that was a full finger choil or not.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
What's the blade length on that, Obi?
3.5, I believe, on
Okay.
the
So it
rock
just
knives.
looks a little bigger.
that'd be
And with
good
the
carry.
angle and everything, it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to tell, too. So.
That'd be good carry.
Yeah, the rock eyes are 3.5. You get the TR4, which I have right here, is a 4-inch harpoon blade.
No, but knives like this are an investment.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
could. I'm not going to give you a dollar figure, but you can expect to pay some money for this. So let's just leave it at
These
that.
these aren't too bad. These are cheaper than the
I mean, right up there with a Microtech, isn't it?
not for these, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
I know some of the Protechs are. All right, and I think no, we're not completely done. Snob sent us another one. Okay. Well, let's take a look because I haven't seen this up until now. You're going to see the good side of the gun snob now. Okay.
Huh? So you're saying the backside of him is the good side?
Gizzard has actually sung to Snob. I hate to see you go, but I'd love to watch you leave. Nobody was more surprised than me. Well, maybe Snob was a little bit surprised, but yeah.
Should I stay or should I go now?
Yes, you should go.
Okay, bye.
Pretty hard to take a selfie in the backside like that.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Okay, and another one here. Let's take a look. An outdoor shot. I presume this is where he was, the $1 Million Cowboy Bar.
Apparently, there was somebody who also likes to watch him leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he must have paparazzi following him around. Sure
Google
looks
Street View.
Okay, is there any more? Is that it? I think that's it from there. So let's check the email. I think I heard some stuff come in. So, all right. So this next one is from Abby. Abby says she writes, "Fortunate son intensifies."
Nice.
Sweet.
Just a nice classic looking M16. Or kind of clone looking ish. Anyway.
Very nice.
No, there's definitely something to be said about just a nice, clean looking gun like that. I mean, there really is. Not with a bunch of junk hanging off of it or anything. It just
So this is from Hillbilly. Hillbilly says, "In search of ammo for this AK." Yeah.
right. Oh, that stuff's
Been
getting
hard to
more
find.
expensive all the time.
Let me know if you find any, because I think I've got a lever gun that takes the same.
Yeah.
American rifle with commie rounds.
Earl looks a little bent at the end, don't it?
It does, doesn't it?
A little bit. That must have been over in Afghanistan for about 10, 20, 30 years.
Okay, and our GORN master is out there sending us stuff. That'd be Mr. Ron Wayne.
If Kirk only would have had that,
Is this
he could
going
have put him down quick.
Yeah, that episode would have turned out completely differently if he had the LCP2 back then.
Yep.
I like it.
I want to see him rock that slide.
I want to see him shoot it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do it from that position.
I think
No.
I think the length of pole is probably just a little bit much for.
He's going to get a gut check. Of course, he's going to have to reach up and grab that trigger first. It's going to really put him in a bad position. Wow. But there's more. Here's a close-up shot, or what you could call, I guess, the money shot.
That's perfect.
The good-looking guys get all the toys.
I know, right?
That's
why they call him-
would you
That's
like to
why
see my
he's
gun?
the captain. All right.
I mean, I'm not even wearing them, but I think I just dropped my panties for that look.
Me too.
Okay, things are starting to get weird now.
Let's see a little twinkle in his eye.
This is Fowl Territory. This is what we do here, folks.
Right. Okay, we went past weird.
Weird is what we do here. So
Yep. Yeah, that's why I hang out.
let me see. Because sometimes this doesn't work too well. In fact, I'm pretty sure it didn't work out too well this time. So
That's what she said.
yeah, well, is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. First I gotta share the screen, don't I? If I could figure out how to do it. One of these
That'll
buttons, I think. Yeah, it's one of these buttons. Really? Why is this not working? Oh, there we go. All right, this is from DM Foss. He says, gun websites threw in a bunch of extras in my order from gearwebsites.com. Look at that.
Ooh, he's got the Nebraska patch.
He
From
does.
Thunder on the Prairie. A couple of them. Nice.
Every second matters. Red Dawn, chair against the wall. Ooh, it's a VV knife. Wow. Look at those
Mhm.
extras.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
I like that one too. Yeah, I'd say he
Nice.
made out pretty well there.
Yeah, he made out like a bandit on that one.
Okay, so let's see. See, Obnoxious One has a couple in here from this past week. So let's look at this one. A new video up on the tubes covering this sweet helmet from Hardhead Veterans. I think we've seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty nice. Yes,
How's-
that has made a live
how's-
appearance.
Yeah, how's the fit and everything on that? Have you got that adjusted where it just rocks down and everything stays pretty stable?
Oh yeah, they've got because they sent out the micro lattice with it as well, and that's probably 3/4 of an inch thick, and that stuff is definitely the way to go instead of putting the pads in there.
Gotcha. Just shifts around too much.
Yeah, I mean you can adjust. I mean you got the straps and everything, so you can adjust it. But that micro lattice, I mean, with it being so thick and it's completely open, I mean, leaves little marks on your head. But
Yeah.
if you got hair, then you don't need to worry about it.
I got plenty of that.
So, then we have yesterday tagged out on my does with this beauty. Still buckless though.
Yep, still buckless.
That's all right. You got meat in the freezer.
Definitely raking in the dough, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Dad joke.
Those and a button buck that I thought was a doe. So, but I haven't seen my bucks on camera since what
Still time.
last month. Yeah, I'm hoping they'll start showing back up now that we're further into it.
How
I
much-
still got
How
till
much
the
longer you got?
second, till the second, first or second.
Oh, okay.
It's the last day. Of,
Yeah,
we get a long rifle season here,
Wow.
but we also
I am jealous.
get four antlerless and 2 antler tags. So they're
You guys must have a lot of deer out that way, then, apparently.
so
G-Web says first order tonight gets a corn pop was a bad dude patch free on top of the other free stuff.
mhm.
Ooh,
Sweet.
nice.
Dang it! I should have ordered this week instead of last week.
Well, considering I've got 26 acres here, and I took 4 does, and I could go out there and take another 4 probably. Yeah, we got plenty of deer around here.
Yeah. Definitely a target-rich environment for sure.
It looks like we got one more that came in.
Our season's 10 days.
Yeah, same here, hillbilly. It's not long enough.
This comes from Sarge C4 Defense. 'Tis the season.
Yep.
Kind of pretty.
Yeah, it is. Must be in a little square or something right there, apparently.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, that was for Sarge. He'll know what I meant there. Anyway, I want to remind everybody that coming up after this show at the top of the hour is a weekly 2A wrap-up with gun websites. It's on the Gun Websites channel and the Daily Gun Show channel, so there'll be a redirect when this program is over. Let's go ahead. Speaking of over, let me check something in the private chat. Did I miss something? Oh, yeah, Barbecue Head. He left a long time ago. I missed it. Okay. I was so busy. I want to say hello to Anomaly Documentaries out there in the chat. Someone new out there. Okay. So, finding all my stuff here. I want to get rid of that because it is time for What Did You Learn segment. And in this segment, we ask each of our panelists, what did you learn? And then give them a chance to plug their channels. So let's start with my co-host, Obnoxious One. What did you learn?
I learned that barbecue's a quitter.
He is. What have you got coming up you need to tell us about, sir?
Oh, stuff and things. I still got a bunch of videos I need to get done, get them out. But I've been kind of backed up with deer hunting and Amazon videos and all that stuff. So I had to get back into the swing of it and get some of the stuff out for people that I owe them videos on. So you can expect to see that P320 is going to show up with that RFX 45 on it. And you got we'll probably do just a short or something with the 43X with the cross armor and stuff in it, but
cool.
Lots of stuff hanging around here that I got to get done.
All right. We look forward to all of that, sir. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Let's go with Pat in a bunker. Pat, what did you learn?
I learned that Obi has a lot of nice knives and a lot of nice guns.
It does.
And my hat's off to him, especially that M&P. Man, that is a slick looking gun. But as far as plugging anything, getting back to the knife end of it, if you guys are looking for something quick and nothing mechanical as far as the Work Sharp belt stuff, this is a Work Sharp. It's got a fine and a coarse side. It is a 20 degree on there and on the guides, and it has a coarse and a fine hone on it, along with a little leather strap right there. And I usually put just a little bit of diamond polish on that, and that really slicks the blade up really nice on there. I just impregnate that leather just a little bit. And for pocket knives or anything like that, just check your degrees on the angle on your knife before you use this. But most of the stuff that you run into, like kitchen knives and stuff like that, works great for that. Another guy I would like to plug is go ahead and check this guy out. Decoding Firearms, John Petrolino. This book's been out for a couple years now, but really good for the first time shooters and everything out there. It's just a really good guide on all the actions, and there's plenty of pictures and stuff in there. So he really spells it out really nice in there. And of course, the last person I want to plug is Mead Ammo. I was just up there and talked to all the guys at Mead Ammunition, and spent the better part of an afternoon with Joe and Dakota and Tom and Greg Mead, the man himself that designs all the bullets and stuff. And so yeah, go check those guys out. And of course, in closing here, go check out everybody on this panel. Everybody's got really good content. Yeah, and just in case I don't make it on again, if I get too busy or anything, I just want to wish everybody out there in the chat a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And just remember what the season is for, people. It's meant to be spent with friends and family. It's not about a bunch of gifts and stuff like that. It's family time. It's friend time. So don't lose sight of the holiday season. So, but anyway, that's all I got. Thanks, Gizzard.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
Thank you. If you want a real monster to take along, here's a work sharp. This is a little pocket sharpener.
Oh, nice.
And it's also got the 3 little wrenches in there to take apart your knife if you need to and stuff like that. I wouldn't recommend this for, heavy duty work, but it's something you could stick in your pocket and have with you in case you needed it. So since we're showing off our work sharps, so.
Well, how are you getting along with that one, Gizzard? I've been thinking about getting
haven't used it all that much. That's something I would typically only use on something. Let's be real. I'm not going to take that to any of my Civivis or anything like that. But
right.
To an inexpensive knife or something like that, especially if you're out somewhere doing something, you just need a quick edge on your knife.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that kind of thing. Let's go to Hillbilly Up and ask him, what did you learn?
Well, I was going to say learn about Obi has a bunch of nice guns and stuff, but Pat took that. So anyway, I'm just going to say, Pat, can you turn your camera back on?
Oh, yeah. Hold on 2 seconds.
I learned that Pat has a bag of chips back there in the corner on that table that he probably shouldn't eat.
No, you probably don't want any part of that.
Decon chips? I don't know.
Yeah,
they're very good.
They're not spicy, and they got not spicy, but they've got a hell of a kick to them. Give you the runs. Give you the runs all day.
Oh man, Gizzard, thank you so much for having me on, buddy. I always have fun here on Friday nights. It's such a blast. And I got coming up. Oh man, I got videos coming up next week. I'll be starting the my 7 gun shorts of Christmas. It'll be 7 basically Christmas gun shorts. Leading up to Christmas. Works. And that's always a lot of fun. And then tomorrow night we got Guns, Beer, and Therapy. And we'll be having a giveaway there, of course. And then the 23rd of December, we're going to be having our Christmas party there. We'll be doing some giveaways there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then this month's it's full of stuff. The 30th, we're going to have Brown on there that makes the custom grips for guns. And I mean,
nice.
Great stuff. Brown Works, and it's going to be fun. You're not going to miss that either. So a full month of Guns, Beer, and Therapy, Saturday nights, 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So if you guys ain't doing nothing, make sure you swing by and try to have a laugh with us.
All righty. Well, thank you for being here. Let me go ahead and take us out of here. I want to thank everybody for watching, whether you watched on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. Thank you for taking part in the show. All those watching the replay on the various platforms or listening to the audio podcast out there. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for everybody who sent in GORN, for commenting out there in the comments, and a special thanks to everyone out there who supports me as a YouTube channel member. Thank you so much for your support and everything. We'll do this again next week. Let's see, that'd be the 22nd. That'd be Fowl Territory 245. So make sure and check us next Friday at 9 p.m. Central. Again, let's see, all kinds of good shows tomorrow night. You got Hillbillies, Guns, Beer, and Therapy at the same time as my show on Saturday night. So make sure and check that out. I'm usually on a panel. We'll have a good time there. Plenty of other programs too on Saturday and Sunday and throughout the week. Support all these people who put out stuff to keep us all entertained and keep us all together as a community. So have a safe and pleasant weekend, everybody. If you're out there driving, be careful. And as always, if anyone tries to infringe on your right to keep and bear arms, remember to give them the bird. This is Gizzard Gary on behalf of my panel. If anybody's got any last minute shout outs or say goodbye, do it now, because I'm about to roll the credits.
Make somebody's Christmas better. Ho ho.
Stay safe, carry a weapon, and Merry Christmas, and have a Happy New Year.
And good night, everybody.
Roll Tide.